What's going on, everyone? This is I bought a mic. My name is Josh. My buddy Steve, and yeah. So that was a hell of an experience that we had for New Year's, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. A little different from what we're used to.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. You had me dying with the karaoke.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we're not airing that.
No.
It's not going on
It
there.
is not going on there. Oh
No,
yeah.
We're not going to air that. If you air that, I'll quit. I will quit on the spot.
That was,
Yeah.
that was good.
That was
though.
good. That was
Yeah.
good news.
And that was you sober.
I felt like we were in a sober house.
You're in
New
a
Year's.
sober house.
Well, I feel like we're in a sober house celebrating New Year's here. Like we don't have no alcohol.
First time without drinking on New Year's.
Yeah. And still being able to stay up a little late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like me.
Nope.
Um,
But yeah, that was interesting because we were trying to figure out. I was asking them like, okay, because like back home we do like the ball drop, and then for here they were just like oh, like what do they do out here? And they're like, well, we don't even know. And I'm like, you don't even know?
I think they light flares. Don't they light flares or something?
Well, they
Or is that
had
their Christmas?
well, as far as like what you watch on the TV. So the only thing I saw was fireworks.
I did take a walk through town. Oh,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We went to go
Well,
grab
there
a
was,
bite to eat. And
well, there was guys doing the
throwing
little they were like, I don't know, like mini fireworks, I guess you can say.
yeah, like the firecrackers.
Firecrackers.
They were just walking around throwing those around. And then they had that one guy with his car. It sounded like absolute shit.
Just sitting there revving it.
Yeah.
Somebody who was going around with sparklers.
Yeah, pretty much. But other than that, it was, it was, a decent amount of food.
Yeah.
So that was nice. But I don't know.
It wasn't bad.
It was definitely different than, what we could be doing, but we're very limited. So it is what it is.
Very limited is a very light word. Like, we are super limited. to
Super
what we can
limited.
do.
Yeah.
Everything's closed in this town, and we can't leave big. So,
Well, I mean,
Don't
everything's...
drink alcohol.
Yeah, I mean it's closed, but it's also small. So even if there was a big
Yeah.
shebang going on, what's they gonna do? You know, there's like what, one bar in this town?
apparently there was an attack in New Orleans.
There's an attack.
Yeah, someone drove a truck from Texas to Bourbon Street.
Last night?
Yeah.
For what?
Killed 10 people and injured. I was reading it earlier. It was They killed 10 people, injured 32, and yeah, ended up getting killed. Yeah,
Was it
police
like
shot 'em.
was it like drinking and
They,
driving? Or
no,
was
they
it,
think it was a
Planned attack.
was it a planned attack?
Yeah,
Jesus.
But it's early, so I don't know what's going on.
yeah. They said he crossed the border by Eagle Pass, Texas. Yeah, he crossed the border right there. I guess I don't know half the passes. The only pass I always hear about is when someone needs to cut someone off at a pass. I've never heard of. I don't know any of the passes in Texas. So, but yeah,
Weird.
yeah. So that's. I mean, I was just reading that earlier when I was taking a shit. I haven't had a good shit in 2 days. And, yeah,
Good reading material for taking a shit.
it was. Yes, it really was. It was great.
Yeah. That's a turn for the worst. But
Today's word is blumpkin.
today's word is plump. Thanks. You started that
We
one.
found out today
Blumpkin is
that today's word of the day is blumpkin.
blumpkin. It's just a fun word to say.
Get your blumpkin at your nearest retailer.
Okay.
Or nearest wife or husband.
So
Who said that was the word of the day?
that would
I
have been
did.
Liam.
You did? You
I did.
just made it up?
Hey, now.
All right.
What do I got to lose? I gotta go.
Supposedly we're gonna have a surprise guest later on. I guess. I don't know. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Hugo Agogo.
Is he gonna actually surprise us and show up?
I think so. We'll see. I don't really bang my buck on a lot
No.
when it comes to people here. So
No.
you know, but
We might have a surprise guest. We'll see what happens.
yeah. So the last where did we finish off last time? What were we talking about? Oh my,
This is
that
all this-
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that your little
On the
escapade.
canoe trip.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So that was an unfortunate event that has happened.
Yeah.
In my life, which it is what it
You
is.
still talk to this person?
No,
At all?
no. Did I tell you that I found that she popped up on Facebook? People you may know.
Yeah, because you said that you were talking about it, and you're
Okay.
like, oh yeah, it's really popped up. But what
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I know that iPhones listen. You have an Android,
Right.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just weird.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
she popped up.
Yeah,
she
I mean,
popped up.
I know phones in general just kind of listen, but it doesn't typically happen with
Big
Androids. Yeah,
Big brothers out there.
Yeah.
Just listening.
That's-
Reconnecting you with your exes.
so that whole group of people, do you still talk to them at all?
From time to time.
Time to time.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, obviously, as you get older and you have your own family,
Stuff.
you know,
yeah, shit happens.
personal time gets in the way. You know, you don't really get to hang out with them as often. But every now and then, I hear from them. You know, so-
Okay.
which isn't bad. Keeps you know.
So other than the girl you were trying to run away from,
The next one, I met this one working at a Dunkin' Donuts. Gorgeous woman, bleach blonde hair, like model body,
really?
like picturesque.
Okay.
Picturesque.
Was this
She's-
like in town or like?
Yeah, it was in town. It was in the town that I normally work for.
Okay.
And she would work at a Dunkin's in a gas station. And I would always go in the gas station a lot, just pick up a coffee or,
Yeah.
whether or not it would be, back then it was, cigarettes or whatever. And I met this girl and she was smoking. She was
Yeah.
great. And we had started talking, and I made it a frequent visit after that. To
Of course.
go in and see her,
Yeah.
And to know that she wasn't taken was a bigger shock. I mean, she was, like I said, picturesque.
Well, some of those you have to be careful because if she's a smoke show and she's not taken, there might be a problem.
Well, I was 26, 27 at the time. So
How old was she?
she was, I want to say she might have been 25, 26. She was a little younger than me.
Okay.
I mean, she was what you would call redneck, I guess. I mean, she had a pickup. She had a Dodge pickup. She always wore like jeans and like flannel and cowboy hats. And
So the country
it
aesthetic.
was, yes.
Yeah.
Even though it was a suburban area,
Right.
beach community,
Right.
Which I don't understand when you live in a beach community and you think you're living in the backwoods. The only backwoods I can picture is your backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me,
Yeah. So it was kind of like the wannabe, almost. Yeah.
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 Now she was cute though. She was really cute. So we got to know each other,
Okay.
and we had started seeing each other more and more. And I would go over her house. Now she lived a town away from where I worked, and she lived with her mother and her stepfather, because her father and her mother were not together. Which this is another crazy story. So. So she had invited me over to her house, and it was a really nice piece of property, a lot of land, horses,
Okay.
and she lived in a 1-floor sprawling ranch home.
So okay, hold on. Let me back her a little bit. So you were saying that she has like the country aesthetic as far as what she wears, but then she was raised on a farm basically.
I think it was more. Wasn't really a farm. There were no pigs or chickens or goats or cows. There was some expensive looking horses like Clydesdales. What do they call them? Show horses.
Show horses.
Show horses.
So it's kind of like we call that like the upbeat country aesthetic. It's kind of you know you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like you don't have like an actual like legit farm, but it's just like you got the horses, you got the it's classier.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to this house. It's a nice house, like I said. So we started going out more and more, and about, I want to say, 3 weeks in, red flags start showing. Yeah, 3 weeks. Now, I always give things chances, even if it's. I wait for the flags
You
to try to
got
say.
it. You got it. Because otherwise, it's unfair. Because you might see a flag, but it might not be a flag. It's just kind of like this could be it. Let's stick around and figure it out.
Right. Well, yeah. Exactly. So we start dating, and she starts telling me things like how she would. So she actually rode horses. So that was her thing. She rode horses.
I would assume
Right.
since she have horses, you would ride
She-
them. But go
and she
on.
would always do contests and stuff.
That's cool.
In town, like nearby town and stuff like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
She wanted me to go to one of her,
Performances.
horse rallies, whatever
Yep.
you want to call them.
Yep.
And I was there all day. I mean, I'm not one. I honestly, if you ask me about horses,
No,
I hate
nothing.
them.
You hate them?
I
Why?
don't like horses.
Why?
They scare me. I mean, they scare me. They're tall. They have that goofy look. They don't know whether or not they're gonna hit you, bite you, or.
Well, if you're
you know.
with a professional, you know what I mean, and they teach you about them and you understand it, would you consider doing something like that?
You
Like,
could
if
give
feel-
birth. You could give birth to the horse, and I still won't trust the fucking thing.
Okay.
I just don't like horses. For the fact is that I've heard way too many incidences with horses, whether it's they're kicking, throwing people off, biting people. I'm good. That is a big fucking animal. That is a big
It
animal.
depends on the size of the horse, but I get you.
I mean, if you're talking about a Shetland, that's one thing. I'm not too worried about a Shetland. But I mean, you got a Clydesdale staring you in the face.
I mean, that's a big motherfucker.
That's a big horse. You know, I'd rather get bit by a dog than a horse. I mean, I feel like if a horse bites you, you're screwed.
Okay.
You know, especially with the power of their kicks. I mean,
So anyways, the girl with the horse.
so we go to this thing event, and I watch her for a little bit. You know, she looked great on the horse. You know, I mean, she looked great. She looked fantastic.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
but I get tired. I get bored. So I go to my car and I, take a nap for like a solid hour. You know, I forgot how long this thing. I think it went on for like 3 hours, 4 hours. It was like an all-day event.
Yeah.
Her mother was there and her stepfather was there, and it was on a Sunday, and I forgot that the football game was on, or it was coming around for the football game, because it started at like 10 and it was ending around like 12:30.
Yeah.
And we were there earlier for the day because we had to set everything up. We had to bring our horses and all this other shit there, and I helped her out. You know, and I don't mind helping people.
Right.
So there was no real reason. Like they were able to take care of the horses. You know what I mean? Like her and mom and whatever. So I wake up and I go watch the rest of it because I caught the end of it. I woke up at the end, and then they were kind of whatever they were packing up. I guess they were packing up. And the stepfather comes over and says, he was heading home to go watch the game. And I was like, oh, that's right. Football game's coming on. So I look at the girl and I say, hey, I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna go watch the game. You know, you want to call me when
You're done.
or call me later on.
Yeah.
When you're done. This was when one of the first red flags hit. So she looks at me.
Oh no.
I mean, I've only been dating her for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and she goes, oh, what? You're not gonna help me? And I look over and I said, what am I gonna do? She goes, well, you could help me put the horses away. I said, I don't like horses. I don't like being near horses. I used to muck stalls for 2 years
Okay.
for a family that had a couple horses, and they were awful. I hate horses. Just like I said, I don't trust them. I don't trust a horse. I'd rather, I trust a cat.
So the closest you're gonna get is cleaning like their stalls and
That was
that's
it.
a bit. Yeah.
That was it.
You're like,
I no
nope,
more. I'm
nope.
done. I don't care how much money you pay me. So I said to her, well, I want to go and catch the game.
Yeah.
Her mother chimes in
Uh-oh.
and says, that's okay. He doesn't have to stick around, with a sarcastic remark. And I said, oh, this is
that's like team attacking there.
mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Only mother-daughter thing I do not like.
Yeah.
The other mother-daughter thing is good for me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the only mother tag team I do not like is when they come at you.
In a sense, coming to their defense, like I get it. I understand why they did it because it's.
They don't need a defense. They were totally fine doing the horses
Well,
themselves.
no. It was more of a. Let me rephrase that statement. It was more like a selfish defensive, meaning like she wanted you to be the man and step up and be like, "Oh, I'll help you out."
Oh, it's the only
because-
time I don't care about not being a man.
Yeah.
I will not take care of a horse.
Right, but that's
Right.
the card that they were playing.
So I, they guilt tripped me
Yeah.
into sticking around. What did I do? I did nothing. I just stood there. There was nothing for me to do.
So then, why the fuck
So
would
she-
they? Did they even ask you to help? Like
There was nothing. No, there was just nothing for me to do. They were putting the horses in the carriage thing, whatever it's called, the trailer, and that was it.
But,
was like-
but what I'm saying is, like, when they were doing whatever it was that they were doing, did they ask for your assistance, or it was
No.
just like
No, they didn't need
so,
me.
So you just
They didn't need
guilt tripped. Guilt tripped. You just stay there
Just
for no
to stay-
reason.
Yeah, when I could have gone home to at least watch the game. So that was the first red flag. So 2 days later, we decided we're gonna go out and grab a bite to eat.
Yeah.
You know, from where I live, we're going to Braintree.
Okay.
And at the time, before they were closed, there was a place called Bugaboo Creek. I don't remember. I don't know if any of you guys remember Bugaboo Creek. It was a great steakhouse. Do you remember that? Do you remember Bugaboo Creeks up in our area?
Was that up? Was that more towards the Boston area?
They were all over. They were all over, all the way from Mass
I've
to
never
Maine.
heard of it.
Oh, it was great. They had talking animals. They had, it looked like a lodge, like a big cabin.
Talking like
But it
machine
was-
animals.
Yeah, like
Kinda-
you would
kinda
have like the animal heads.
Kind of like Chuck E. Cheese in a way.
Not really. You would have animal heads on the walls, and then they would turn on and they would talk to people.
Oh, that's
they had,
cool.
They had like raccoons popping out of
Yeah.
barrels and ducks that would like turn their heads and stuff like that.
And this is all on the wall.
They had a big buffalo that he would turn on over the
I mean,
fireplace, and he would like do
kind of like
jokes.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Just dead animal heads.
Right.
Just
not
dead animal
Right.
heads. That's
yeah.
about it. That's
Yeah.
what you got.
Right.
Great place. It was always around. It was around for 30, 40 years. I remember going to it as a kid. So we go to this place.
No.
We get dinner, and everything like that. We're driving home, and we have to hit the highway. Now, she wanted to drive. Now, I'm the kind of man that will always ask, do you want me to drive or do you want to drive? Great, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take either or. I don't mind riding, and I don't mind driving.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we don't have to fly.
Oh no. What'd she do?
If we don't have to fly, I don't care. If
I
gotta
can
drive.
already see where this is gonna go.
So
but
we
go
take
on.
her truck, and she wants to drive, and I said, okay. So we take the back roads home.
Okay.
Or we take the back roads there. We take the highway home.
Yeah.
She starts losing her shit on Route 3 on the highway. There's nothing to lose. You're not driving in the city. You're driving more towards
what
the
is she
Cape.
losing her shit with?
Because she doesn't like how you have to drive fast on the highway and the people that just fly around you. And I don't know. I was trying to figure it out myself. So that is
Then
my
why
assumption.
are you even jumping on the highway then?
That, again, so she starts yelling at me about being on the highway where she was the one who chose to take the highway home. Yep. So I'm getting yelled at for her decisions. Now you notice how I don't know if it's all women or if it's just the ones that I've found. I always get blamed for their decisions. After I tell them, why don't we do it this way? Let's do it that way. I get in trouble for it.
It's not all, but there's definitely a high percentage.
Right. If you're not comfortable with it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Now,
Literally.
she acted like we were literally driving through Boston at 2 in the afternoon when everybody's getting out of work. It was 10 at night
When there's
on
like,
Route 3
when there's like no traffic.
with barely anybody on the highway. But just from people buzzing by her.
She couldn't handle it.
No, I don't know what happened. So she starts yelling at me, and I just look at her and I said, "You want to just drop me off at home? Like I'm not going to deal with this." So she drops me off at home, and she tries to apologize and everything like that. And an hour goes by. I thought she left. Well, apparently my neighbor said that there was somebody outside in the parking lot, sitting outside my place. They were slamming their horn.
Oh my
Trying to
god,
get
was
my
that
attention.
her?
It was her. She had not left. I thought she went. She kept trying to call me. She kept trying to text me. I was not answering.